In 1959, 9 hikers set out into the Ural Mountains. None returned alive. This is the terrifying true story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. It had been 2 weeks since Igor Dyatlov sent his last postcard home. He'd been hiking in the Ural Mountains with 8 of his closest friends and was scheduled to return on February. But by February, there was still no sign of Igor or his group. It was time to raise the alarm. Their journey began on January when they boarded a train from Yekaterinburg to the small village of Vijay. According to their travel plans, they would spend the night in Vijay and then take a bus to the town of Ofait in order to begin their hike. But when the group arrived in Vijay, they learned the next bus wouldn't depart until morning, so they decided to make the most of their time by checking out a local bar. Eyewitnesses later reported that the group drank heavily that night. At one point, someone broke a bottle and cut themselves, but it wasn't a big deal. Everyone kept drinking. Around midnight, the group checked into their shared hotel room. Sometime after, some of them left. Their sleeping mates didn't think much of it. In the morning, they would find out what had happened. When they went to check on their friends, they were nowhere to be found. And so, with the bus now departed, the friends were forced to turn back and walk 8 kilometers to the next village where they could arrange another ride. According to eyewitness accounts, Dyatlov and his group did not appear to be in any danger at this point. It was then until later that day when the weather took a turn and temperatures plummeted to around -30 degrees Celsius. What happened next has become one of Russia's greatest mysteries. At some point during the following days, Dyatlov and his group hiked to an area known as Dyatlov Pass. It's here where we'll witness the disturbing details surrounding the case. And before we continue, if you're loving this chilling horror series, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. On February, the friends set up camp near the pass. Only hours later, a blizzard swept through the area. When the storm had passed, search parties discovered the hikers' abandoned tent on the northern slope of Ural Mountain. Looking inside, they found something that made their blood run cold. The tent had been torn open from the inside. Outside, they noticed what appeared to be a large number of footprints leading away from the camp and into the forest. These footprints belonged to all 9 hikers. There was just one problem. As far as searchers knew, the hikers should have been inside the tent. If they had somehow opened the tent and walked out into the blizzard, they would not have survived long in such extreme conditions. Yet the footprints showed that they had. As far as anyone knew, they should have been dead. Something strange was going on here. What happens next is one of the most perplexing parts of this entire mystery. Dyatlov and his friends were experienced skiers and outdoorsmen. It was not their first time in the wilderness. They likely knew the dangers of being caught in a blizzard and how to survive it. And yet here they were, having seemingly abandoned their tent during a raging blizzard. Why? Then there was the state of the hikers' bodies when they were found. It turns out that 4 of the hikers were found relatively close to the tent. 2 of them were lying face down in the snow. 1 was face up. The other was kneeling like he was praying. All 4 were wearing their ski pants, but none of them had boots. Further along, they found the remains of the other 5 hikers. Like the first group, all of them were lying in the snow. But this time, they were completely naked except for one man who had his underwear around his ankles and another who had his boots on. As you can imagine, searchers were deeply disturbed by the condition of the bodies. Some of them had severe internal injuries, but no visible external wounds, as if something had exploded their organs from the inside out. One of the hikers was missing their tongue, and another had a strange green discoloration across their chest. What was it? Back at the city morgue, things got even weirder. During the autopsies, doctors discovered traces of radiation in the bodies of several of the hikers. Later, they would learn that one of the hikers had also suffered skull fractures, while another had a massive amount of water in their lungs, suggesting they had drowned. However, there was no evidence that any of the hikers had fallen into a lake or a river. What could have caused this? When word got out about the strange deaths of the hikers, rumors spread like wildfire. Some people claimed the hikers had stumbled upon a secret military test and were killed by a new weapon. Others said the hikers witnessed something strange in the sky and were abducted by aliens. But these theories don't hold up to much scrutiny. So, what really happened? There are two prevailing theories about what happened to Dyatlov and his friends. The first theory is simply that the hikers were caught in an avalanche. Avalanches are common in the Ural Mountains and can be deadly. It's entirely possible that the hikers fled their tent in terror when an avalanche barreled down on them. But this raises a lot of questions. For example, why were they completely naked when they died? Why did some of them kneel down like they were praying? And what caused their strange injuries? It seems unlikely that an avalanche could have done all of that. Some researchers theorize that Dyatlov and his friends may have seen something terrifying in the sky. Maybe it was a meteor shower or a rare natural phenomenon like ball lightning. Whatever it was, it freaked them out so much that they fled their camp in terror. Maybe they ripped the tent apart looking for a way out. That could explain why it was torn from the inside. But what caused their mysterious injuries and why were they naked? Did they rip off their clothes as they desperately tried to escape whatever it was that they saw in the sky? It's certainly a possibility, though it's hard to say exactly what they were trying to escape. One witness came forward claiming that he saw bright lights dancing in the sky the night the hikers disappeared. Was it a meteor shower, rare gases escaping from the Earth after an earthquake, or something else entirely? To this day, nobody knows. The second theory surrounding the death of Dyatlov and his friends is far more sinister. According to this theory, the hikers were never outside the tent at all. Instead, something strange and dangerous entered their tent and killed them in their sleep. Then it tore the tent apart from the inside as it made its way out. But what could have done that? The late-night drinking would suggest that some of the hikers were intoxicated when they died. And if they were drunk, it would explain why they didn't flee the tent in terror. Could the hikers have been attacked by a wild animal? Well, there's no evidence of a struggle, which suggests whatever attacked them was quick and quiet. A human attack would have left behind signs of a struggle too. And with all the hikers found completely naked except for a few pairs of underwear, it seems unlikely that this was a robbery gone wrong. Could the hikers have been attacked by something paranormal? Perhaps a creature from local folklore? Some believe the hikers were the victims of a rare natural phenomenon called ball lightning. Ball lightning has never been proven to exist, but many hikers have reported seeing strange orbs of light dancing around trees and mountains. If a ball of lightning struck the tent, it could have easily killed all 9 hikers instantly. It could also explain their strange injuries and why the tent was torn apart from the inside. But again, that raises the question, where are their bodies? Could the ball lightning have somehow vaporized their bodies or thrown them into the nearby forest? It's not impossible. So what really happened to Dyatlov and his friends? More than 60 years later, the wind still carries questions that may never be answered. Thanks for watching. Which theory do you think best explains this mystery? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. I've been your host. Until next time, stay safe out there.